Hi folks, this is where we met, coming to you with another bedtime story. Today is March 9th, and I thought you'd want to hear about what I've been posting on Facebook. Some of you had different questions and requests, but basically it goes back to Jimmy Fradiano. And Jimmy Fradiano, I never met Jimmy Fradiano, but he was out on the West Coast and basically like an underboss of Johnny Rosselli. And Johnny Rosselli, I don't know, he had his deal with Bob Mayhew, and Bob Mayhew was a former FBI agent, but he was also a CIA agent and worked for Howard Hughes. And I think that's where they met. Johnny met Howard Hughes, met Bob Mayhew. Nobody ever met Howard Hughes. But when he was in Las Vegas in the 60s, I think that's how they got together. But at any rate, what happened was he got involved in Operation Mongoose and some other things involving Cuba and the assassination of Fidel Castro. And it all kind of blew up in his face when Kennedy didn't bring any troops in, and whatever, the deal fell through. And it was decided by the powers that be that he should assassinate Kennedy. And they did. They, the CIA, together with the mob, Chicago outfit, decided to assassinate Kennedy. There's photos of it. There's a lot of things on it that are coming out now, so many years later. But at any rate, what happened was sometime, I think it was in 75, that Sam Giancana was murdered, and it was earlier than that Richard Kane, I believe that was in 73, I'm not sure, maybe 72, Richard Kane came back. They tried to reclaim their property. They'd gone to Mexico, and him and Sam Giancana. And Giancana was murdered by, as we know, Tony Spilotro. But after that hit went down, they had to start clipping other people. And Rosselli and English, I believe Rosselli went down in 1976, and he washed up on shore. What had happened was Frank Schweiss did the murder, and with someone else that I don't know exactly who he was, but they put him in a 55-gallon drum and put him out in the ocean. And they punched holes in it like with an axe or something so it would sink, but it never did sink, and it washed up on Key Biscayne. And there was Johnny Rosselli. You know, they found him. So he was gone, and just about everybody that knew anything about that operation was all of a sudden extinct. They were neutralized. They were gone. And they actually had plans of getting back their Cuban casinos and getting back inside and stuff like that. In my next book, I write a little bit more about that. In my knowledge and first-hand knowledge of different people, like Marshall Cafano. There was a big vacancy in Las Vegas when Marshall Cafano went to prison. That was back in the 60s. And he didn't get out till 73, I think, 1973. And that's when Tony went out there, and Milwaukee Phil, and that whole crew that was involved with Grand Avenue. And that's how Joey became boss, street boss in Chicago, because they were the most powerful family or group in Chicago at the time. And so they kind of told people what to do. Naturally, Tony Accardo was kind of the chairman of the board. He was in the background, and Joey Ayupa was there. But after Ayupa went to prison, everybody else was gone, and it was time to just clean house and get rid of everybody that they possibly could. And in the process, Tony Spilotro had gone out to Vegas, and he had full intentions of starting up his own family out there and doing things. But as it went, Schweiss was pretty much involved in all this stuff. He told me on some of my tape conversations a lot of different things about different murders and whatever. He was always curious about if I murdered people or what I did or whatever. But, you know, the Admiral Theater, he told me he owned it. All the other theaters, like the one that Pat Riccardi was running, the Admiral, all these things, he told me he owned them. He actually owned them. And all these people were just fronts for him. But they were part of that crew from, I don't know, American Bonding and, you know, the Grand Avenue crew, so to speak. But this is how it all went down at the time. Some of you people have been asking questions about it, different questions. Some of them I can answer, some of them I can't. I hope I have in what I said just now. But in the meantime, that's kind of my bedtime story for tonight. And if you aren't aware of it, and thank you for the people that have purchased it, I hope you liked it. But I wrote a book, and it's called Nobody Cares and What I Did About It. And it's available at redwemet.com. That's an autographed edition. It's available there. And for the same price, you can buy it on Amazon, but it's not autographed. If you buy it through me, I will autograph it to you and send it out to you. And that's about it for tonight. So thank you, folks. God bless you, and have a great evening.